Okay, so Sarvansaranai, everyone. So we just stopped talking about the sensual world. So we have internal sensory organs and stimuli from external world. Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, images, sound, smell, taste, touch. They are the compatible stimuli for each of the sensory organs. So what happens to the sensory stimulation that you receive to those sensory organs? They are directed to the processor. What is a processor? The mind. What the mind do? Process in the mind and recognize. So is there any problem with recognition? Within an internal sensory organ, we receive the sensory stimuli from the external world. And part of recognition is done there. Is there any problem in recognition? No. So we have different mental worlds about the things we want to see. So what are the things you want to see? Do you want to see ugly things? No, you always want to see the beautiful things. It according to the mental worlds. So the word beautiful differs from one to the other. But better we can say, we can see the things that are in our mental worlds. So mental world from someone is different from the other people. So I'll tell you one thing when I used to do when I was in my lay life. So I really love the stationery stuff. Sometimes some people joke at me because wherever I go to a shopping mall, like a supermarket or wherever, then I just tend to go to the stationery side. I really like the touch the books, see the books, smell the books. Those are the things I really like. Sometimes I smell the erasers, smell the books and everything. The pastels, the chalk, I used to smell and just, I have no money, but I just smell and keep them aside and come. So this is something I used to do. So in my mental world, the things I wanted to see are the books. They placed nicely. Those are things I really want to see. But that mental world about seeing is different from one to the other. It is different from you to the other. So like there are different things that you want to see. Yeah. Different mental worlds. Earlier, there was a stage I used to collect the photos of the cricketers. I was mad about that. I used to buy magazines because I was all mad those days about it. Was the things our mental worlds about seeing also changes from time to time, stages in life to the stages. So the things that you like to see when you were small, it is different when you grow up. But the process of making mental worlds is still there until you become an arahant. Mental worlds about the things you want to hear. You can think of your own worlds. In the monastery, we have a nice wind chime. We get a lot of wind there, and sometimes it gives a nice one, but sometimes it gives a sound that is not nice. And some birds sing in a soft way, but sometimes some birds, it's like a sound that we hear. Sometimes some might not like. But there is a mental world about the things we want to hear. Birds also, we want to hear the nice the tunes, not the harsh ones. Like, do you like to hear the sounds of the machineries working so loudly? Do you like to listen to those things? No, we don't like generally. But if we had to work there, there's no choice that we will have to be there. But if we talk about the mental words, what we really want, expect. And mental words about the things we want to smell. It's me, the smelling books. You smell the food, you smell the perfume, the flowers. Do you do all these things? Yeah. But there is some nice food on the table, but it smells bad. You don't like, but you want to smell. Do you smell the clothes? It's like when you go to the shop to buy clothes, there's a smell coming from the clothes. Some people like that smell. Mental words about the things you want to taste. I don't know the food you like, but now I know the food you like. Yeah. Okay. So, right. And mental words about the bodily sensations we feel. Do you want to be uncomfortable, sitting uncomfortable at any point? So why did you went there from here? You want to be comfortable. Okay. So that is your bodily sensations. You always look for the comfortability. Do you like to sit on a like the rough piece of wood? If you sit there, you'll have to it's uncomfortable for you. But see, she's sitting on a nice sofa. We always have the mental worlds about these things. So we know everything is in the mind. We get information from ears, eyes, nose, tongue, body, and everything goes inside the mind to process. And so, what is the problem in this imaginary world? What is the problem? The sensual world, the things that we get from our senses, we recognize with our mind. But when we make the imaginary world, it is we just go step forward from the pure stage of recognition. And when we go to this imaginary world, it is associated with three things. Now we know those three things. What are those three things? Very good. Greed, aversion, and delusion. It is associated with greed, aversion, and delusion. Every time you create a mental world, you are associated with greed, aversion, and delusion. Tell me, is there any way that you can create a mental world without greed, aversion, and delusion? No, there's no way. There's no way that you can do so. The problem of the imaginary world. Okay, so we can create any number of mental worlds. No problem, we can create any number. But however, it is no way that this exact imaginary world to be accomplished from the external world. Can your exact imaginary world can be accomplished? So now think that on your birthday, you get a gift, the gift that you expected. But you have a certain way that like your gift should be presented, not only giving the gift. Think that, so like your parents given you a phone on your 18th birthday. But you expected, how do you expect your parents to give that phone to you? Take this. Is that the way? Or like you expect them to give you a hug and like give wish you a happy birthday and giving that present to you? That is the way you expect. That is what in your mind. But you will get the gift, but not in the way you want it. But not you will get a phone, but not the same color. You will get a phone, but not with the same feature, not with the same model, exact model you expected, exact feature that you wanted. So now this phone evaluated from like so fast. So if you take one phone, do you get all the facilities that you have in mind in that particular phone? All the facilities, all the luxuries that you want in mind, Can you accomplish everything, all the things in one phone? No, there's no way. So that is why this process of evaluation is happening in the field of technology also. They try to match your imagination. And your imagination, you won't stop. And production is also, they won't stop. Because they somehow want to match your imagination. But they're doing something that they cannot do. But since you also create imagination and they also produce new things, that is how this world going. And can't do anything about that. But what we can do, what do we have control over? Yes, exactly. About our mind, the way we think and way we create imaginary worlds. So we are responsible for that. Okay. What were you trying to tell? Same thing. Okay. So even though we wish the imaginary world in the real world do not make perfect match. That is why we get fights between couples, whatever the fights we have with the parents. So what is the imaginary parent that you have in your mind? The mother or father? The imaginary person? If you take the mother or father, the one who you have in your mind is someone who would not blame you at all. You would not blame you at all, would give all the permission to do everything you want to do and to give you the freedom that you want and let you sleep as long as you want. So do you have a parent in mind like that? But are there such parents existing? No, there are not such parents existing. So how about a sibling? What is your imaginary world about a sibling? You have an imaginary world, dream world about my brother. Mm, 1 minute. Yeah. Okay, so what is your imaginary world about your sibling? She must be in the way. What is your imaginary? Like if you your sibling, you want her to not to disturb your sleep and to do the things that you want, help you when you want, and to treat you always good, should not blame, should not fight. Yeah? That's what you've always wanted. But do you ever get a sibling that you have in your mind? Do you ever get a sibling that you want in your mind? No, never. Who have such a sibling? Oh, who is your sibling? You see there? Huh? You bought the siblings? Yeah. Oh, I didn't know. So the same perfect match you got. Yeah. How lucky you are then. So, like sometimes it is not that you got the perfect sibling. Now you can interpret now the situation. You can say, no, you got this perfect sibling. I mean, always like pretty good. Pretty good. Okay. So do you know why you got a sibling like that? Uh, what are the reason for that? Good nerve. Good? Good nerve. Exactly, good merit. So great non the thoughts, words, and thoughts, words, and actions you have done based on non-greed, non-aversion, and non-delusion. As a result of that, you are getting a sibling that is really helpful and you really good sibling. It is not that your wish is going to answer. It is not that the nature of anicca is not there. It is there, but you are getting a perfect, like near perfection. You are getting a good one. In some families also there, not every house there are fights happening. There are some couples, they live like nicely. Why is that? And some houses they fight. The fighting is also not there static. The good situations are not that static all the time. But generally there are some good families and some people, some families they are not so. What is the reason for that too? Marriage. So theory of cause and effect is there. So what is the reason for you to get something and for you to not to get something? Merits, or in other words, theory of cause and effect. For you to get something, the positive causes. For you to not to get something, negative causes. But what we have all have been doing so far, when your sibling got the bigger share, you start the fight. Why he getting these things, but not I? Why not for me? Why for him? You start the fight. But now, is there anything remaining for you to make a fight? Is there anything remaining? If you can understand this, theoretically, no. Theoretically, no. But will you now going to stop all the fights at home? No, that is not going to happen. But theoretical, now you know. For you to completely stop all these things, you need to become an arahant. But now you just started seeing this pathway. So you will have the fight. You will go on make an argument, sometimes go and hit. But still, later on, you will remember this. Oh my God, what did I do? If it is a theory of cause and effect, and if it is happening according to that, and if the nature of anicca is there, the problem created, I created the problem. So why did I hit my brother? You feel sorry for that later. You will know it because you have now sort of idea of this. Earlier, did you have any idea of such things? No. But now you have some sort of idea. So now you can start justifying the situations. Do you think you'll be able to do so gradually? Yes. Okay. So you can't make that perfect match. That is why we say it is insatiable. You cannot satisfy or you cannot make the perfect match between your imaginary world and the real world. Okay? Are you all getting that? So like it means like we are constantly wishing for something that can never be accomplished. Look after your brother. Are you okay? Yeah. Listening? Okay. I felt like he's too comfortable. No. Okay. So what is that? Getting a feather from a tortoise. Can you tell me how can you get a feather from a tortoise? How can you get a feather from a tortoise? Can you get a feather from a tortoise? No. Why can't you get a feather from a tortoise? They don't have feathers. Yes, exactly. It is simple as that. There are no feathers in a tortoise. But what do you do in life? Try to do that. Exactly, you try to do that. So that is the adverse nature of making imaginary worlds. You make an imaginary world means you expecting a feather from a tortoise. You are expecting something which is not real, not in reality. So how much we try or wish, we cannot get a feather from a tortoise. Why? It is simply because that there are no feathers in a tortoise. So now think of the mental projects that you do. Think of the density of the imaginary worlds that you create from one moment to the other in order to create a gratification. So are they all profitable projects or are they all lost projects? Think of this very carefully. The mental worlds that you create. Are you still trying to get a feather from a tortoise? So if you're creating so many mental world, it means like you're trying to get a feather from a tortoise. There is no more. There's no feathers in a tortoise. But how about this? Searching what in a mirage. Do you have an idea what is a mirage? Yeah. So can you find water in a mirage? No. No. You will only tire yourself. You will only tire yourself if you turn behind to find water in a mirage. Why you can't find water from there? Yes, there's no water in a mirage. So what is the conclusion that you come from all these things? I would like to know your conclusion, your idea. Exactly. We don't get anything from the imaginary world, but we just get one thing. Suffering is there. But is it something worthwhile having? No, it's not worth. That is why we say useless. The nature of anatta is there. So anicca. So now tell me, what do you mean by anicca? What is the idea that you get when you say anicca? So imaginary world. It's all about the imaginary world. Imaginary world is not going to come true. So if there is a case, the suffering is inevitable and you are not going to go after that. Think that you have, okay, so now all of you, now think that you have a bucket in your hand and you don't have a bottom in the bucket. Okay, what is there in the bucket? You all have an imaginary bucket. Just hold that bucket in your hand. Yeah, okay. So hold that bucket in your hand. Now try to pour water to that. Is that bucket filling? No, because there's no bottom in the bucket. It's a bottomless bucket. So how many bottomless buckets do you have? How many bottomless buckets do you have? How many senses we have? Six senses we have. So that means we have six bottomless buckets within us. If we continue to pour water to that bottomless bucket, what will happen to you at the end? Hmm? You will just waste water. That's all will happen. Will you ever be able to fill the buckets? No. No, no way. Because there's no bottom in that. So do you think filling a bottomless bucket from morning till evening is going to be a wise thing? No. So now from here after, are you going to fill those buckets? Very, very true. You will start. You will get the bucket and go to the tap. Sometimes you will open the tap. And after some time, you will decide, oh my God, the bottom is not there. So why there was a purpose? So a person who is has attained the arahanthood will be the person who will completely stop that process. Right. So our aim is to go there. Here we come to that again. Sorry for the disturbance. Okay. So at times you see that wish is answered. How and why? You know the answer. What is the answer? According to the theory of cause and effect. So whenever you feel positivity, good, favorable outcomes or comfort you get, it is always related to non-greed, non-aversion, and non-delusion. And whenever you get outcomes related to negativity, bad, unfavorable outcomes, discomfortability, and it is always related to greed, aversion, and delusion. Okay. So these are the 6 causes and the effect. Okay, so when you have a look at this, so like now think of the life that you spent from the days you remember and up to now. What do you feel about your life? How that life just flown? Do you know that, like, have you witnessed that there are ups and downs in life? Yeah. So now you know the reason for that. Now we know the reason for that. So what is the reason for the ups in life? Non-greed, non-aversion, and non-delusion. And what are the reasons for downs in life? Greed, aversion, and delusion. So what can you do when you are down? Mentally down, you are sick, or someone else in the house is sick, or like some problems are there happening, the things are not doing right for you. What can you do? Hmm? Yes, do a lot of things related to non-greed, non-aversion, and non-delusion. So once there was a time in the time of Lord Buddha that there has been a what you call for um, drought, I think, Nyangaya, when there's no water, no food. There was some time like that in the time of Lord Buddha. So Lord Buddha went with his monks, went to, for alms round for that area. So people started blaming Lord Buddha. Why people started blaming Lord Buddha? The people started saying that we also don't have food. See, the Lord Buddha is coming for alms to this area. Also don't have food. We also have nothing to eat. See, this Lord Buddha is coming to for food, get food for this area. Do you know why Lord Buddha has done that? Exactly. So the Lord Buddha wanted to create an environment for them to get things. But what happened? They did not, they didn't have the luck for that. So that is why they rejected that. So now with that example, like sometimes people say like, okay, I don't have money. I don't have the capacity to do that. So those are the things like they say as excuses. But if you do whatever the thing that you have, maybe just a small biscuit. So when we are in the monastery, we go for the alms round. Our monastery is in a village. So in that village, there are some families, they are very financial, they have a lot of difficulties. So sometimes when we go for the alms round, actually they don't have anything for us to offer. But there was like some situations like people just go inside and just come just with a biscuit and they offer us. So do you know how the lot of merits that they get? It is really important for them to give whatever the thing that they have. Okay, now I'm going to ask you a question. So now you have like $1,000 in your hand, and one person has just $1, and the person who has $1,000 is going to donate $10. And the person who has just $1 in hand, he's going to donate that $1. So out of those two givings, which giving is great? The one without the $10. One. I can't hear you. The one that had the story. Yes, the one who has $1, that is his whole wealth. He is giving his whole wealth, donating his whole wealth to a monk. So that giving is really great. So it shows like how selfless, or like it shows maximum amount of non-greed. So like when we were in our lay life, one day we went to listen to a sermon, myself and my colleague Mena. So we both went to listen to a sermon one day. So that day, after the sermon, we were very happy and we were thinking what to give, what to offer. So that day we didn't have anything to offer. But what we both did was, like we have taken the wallets from the bag and we emptied all the money we had. Like we didn't have much money, but whatever the money that we had, including the coins, we have taken all of them out and we put them inside an envelope and we offered that Swami Mahansi. The feeling that we got, like it cannot be expressed in words. We felt really happy. Like at that time, we felt like giving the whole wealth we had. So we had no idea how we can have food on the next day because we were like not cooking those days and we were like buying food. But we had no way that we didn't remember even about having food on the following day. But nothing happened to us. But I still don't remember how we ate. But anyway, but we know that nothing happened to us. But we gave the whole wealth that we had that day. That think of that thought. So at that point, we have created a maximum amount of non-greed at that point. So they are such like get a lot of merits. So whenever you feel a downfall in life, the help that comes to you is with the merits. So now you are getting to know this in this early stage in life. So when you grow up, oh, I know that there will be situations that you fall down in life. So this is a solution for you. So are you happy that you got that solution for you? So whenever you feel sad or when you feel upset about it, do something good related. Like at least you can say chant some stanzas. Like we chanted in the morning. So it will help you to create some positive energy around you. So then you will not feel down. You'll always get up with this. So you have all the formula for you. So these are the things that you have to feel good. Do you feel like it's great that you got to know these things? Yeah, okay. Sometimes not today, but tomorrow you will see the benefits of it. Sometimes like you will feel, are these things really relevant for me right now? Sometimes it may be yes, sometimes it may be no. But you will definitely see in the value of this as you move on in life. Okay. Okay, so can you read this for me? I want you to read louder. Okay. So therefore, you are responsible for your own acts. So who is responsible for your own life? Yes, you are responsible for your own lives. So you are the creator of your own destiny. How can you create your destiny? Yes, to marriage with the understanding of the true nature of this existence. Why do you do marriage? The marriage, yes, the marriage help you to clear your pathway towards enlightenment. Merit helps you to lay the background for your understanding to increase Ayuvarna Sapa and Bala. So then you will be very alert and awake when you listen to Dhamma. Okay? So that is why you all need doing these things with the understanding of the true nature. So we create an imaginary world just to satisfy a gratification. We create mental worlds just to create satisfy a gratification. Are you all agree with me? So where the gratification is created actually? In the mind. So like since you all are on, I hope you all are maybe on Facebook or on the social media. So on Facebook or whatever the social media, have you seen people taking pictures in front of luxury cars and like with luxury houses or places? So someone who is looking at these pictures from outside, comment that, oh wow, you got a brand new car. But is that is that your car? Or you're taking picture in front of someone else's brand new car? Yeah. But you can always think that it is your car. That gratification, like when people commenting to you, wow, you got a brand new car. So what do you feel? You feel some proud, but you know reality, but it is not your car. But gratification is something like that. You can think. You not only that, you can think that you are the president of this country. You can think that there's no problem. You are the whole governor. You can think. You can be in the dream world. Why like people like to be in dream worlds, don't they? You feel really good when you're in the dream world. But in reality, it is not true. We will always need to face reality. So as much as we are closer to the reality, the pain is reduced. If you can remember on the first day, I showed a picture, Sovan, Sakadagam, and Agami Arihant. There was one Paul there. The Arihant is the one who is on the ground, on the floor. Is there any way that Arihant can fall down? No. So it related to the mental worlds. And Arihant, he has no mental worlds. Other than he is doing just things that to live in life. Until he live, he will have to eat. Until he lives, he will have to dress. So those are things that he will have to do. So there are difference between needs and wants. What is the difference between needs and wants? You can't go without a need. Basic needs. What are the basic needs? Yes, food, clothing, shelter, and medicine. You need them. But how about the variations of food? That is not for our survival, but what is for that? Gratification, yes. That is for gratification. But of course, you need to have a balanced diet for your health. That is a different matter. But from this restaurant, that restaurant, from this hotel, that hotel, these things are for our needs. No, sorry, wants, gratification. So now tell me, so when your imaginary worlds are reducing, actually now tell me why you all take a lot of effort to do all these things. What is the end like? Like, do you want you do all these things to make money, don't you? We do all these things to make money. Why do we make money? To live comfortably, live happily, be happy. Yeah. So we do all these things to live comfort, earn money, and we earn money to live happy, live comfortably, live joyfully. We do that. But if the number of mental worlds are reducing, that means the number of wants reducing. Do you have to work so hard day and night and earn so much of money? Do you want that? Extra burden? Do you want to take that extra burden? No. So if you can live just a simple life, if you can just live a simple life, there's no need for you to waste yourself so much. But still you will feel contented, having reduced number of worlds, desires. So then don't you think life will be easy for you? Okay, I'm going to ask you one example. Like, have you ever fallen from somewhere, from some up? Can you tell me one example? Fallen from a tree. Okay, so maybe like a few years ago, you have must have fallen from a tree. For today also you fall from a tree. Tomorrow also you will fall from a tree. Next day you will fall from a tree. So how would you feel like then? You will feel really bad, and you you won't be able, like your body parts won't be able to find then if you're going to fall like that. But if even though you don't think of it, breaking up the imaginary worlds is also like that, falling from here to here. So it is happening not daily, but from moment to moment. If that thing is going to happen from moment to moment, what will happen to you? Think of the level of greed, aversion, and delusion you are going to create. You take greed, aversion, and delusion to make the mental worlds too. But when they fall apart, again, with you create greed, aversion, and delusion. So literally falling from a tree, you can't bear it up. But since it's the mental thing, you think that I don't see, there's no problem. But you made the hardest damage when that mental world falling apart. Physical thing, like anyway, we will die anyway one day. But the pollution or like making defilements to the mind is a thing that you need to consider most. Okay. What is this? Juggling balls. How many balls you can handle at one time? How many balls? Yeah. Ask from your brother too. How many balls can one manage at once? Yeah. So how many balls you can manage at a time? Hmm? Okay. So if you can have just one ball, you can handle it carefully, very well. But two, be difficult. Three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. It's hard. So how about making imaginary worlds? And there's just no ball, there's nothing to maintain, nothing to manage, nothing to handle. The number of balls increasing, what does that mean? Hard to manage. Hard to manage. And how about the stress? How about the tension? It is higher. More and more tension. Okay. So what is the decision that you're going to take? Are you saying that with perfect understanding? Are you sure about what you're saying? No, I mean, when you say that you need to receive reduced number of balls, are you sure about what you say? Yes. So if we have taken that decision, and that is for your own good, do you saying it before I'm saying to reduce the number of balls? Do you say that because I'm saying? No, if not, because you understand that. Yeah. That is what is important. So all this time during this journey through samsara, we had been juggling ball so many times, so many number of balls. What has happened? We just failed, and we just had so many lives in the four hells. That's all what we got as a gift. But now in this life, we have got the method to reduce the number of balls. So if that mental world or the imagination or the gratification is not going to satisfy, so you are craving towards gratification, what will happen to that? Will it be the same or will it reduce? Craving. Craving means a strong desire that you go behind gratification. So the craving. So as you understand these teachings or these philosophies, so you create the number of balls more and more as you crave more and more to the worldly things, the number of imaginary worlds. So as you understand more and more these things, will your craving will be more or will it be reduced? You crave for things thinking that they can be manifested in this reality. You like to be the perfect girlfriend or boyfriend, thinking that the same thing will be manifested in the with the girlfriend or boyfriend that you have in front of you. But you now know it in reality it is not happening as it is. You get the husband or wife according to the level of marriage that you have done, not only because you wished. If everything is going to get by wishing, Lord Buddha would have not told all these things. He will just tell us to just wish, you will get. It is not so. So then why should I have taken 2 days for you to tell wish? No, it is, it is not going to happen like that. So what is the thing that we can do is to know the reality. Then you are grounded. So you are the creator of your own destiny. So now think, See how this is happening. So this gives you a summary of what we all have been discussed so far, all this time. So you can see the prawn. What makes you become a prawn? Jealousy. You're jealous, and as a result of that, while being a human, you create the qualities to be born as a prawn. So now you you have become a prawn. So when you become a prawn, is there anything that you can do? No, there's nothing you can do. You will have to suffer for the consequences. Like being a prawn, what are the consequences that you get? You are liable to get caught to the fishermen. You are liable to get caught and dead. So do you remember the lifespan that day one person asked, is it all only for humans? No, that the chart, the image I showed you, it is, you can put, instead of human, you can put a prawn there. So if that prawn has a lifespan of 1,000 years, until he ends that 1,000 years, until his quota ends, he'll be born as a prawn, then get caught to a fisherman, die, born again as a prawn, die, born again as a prawn, die. That cycle will go until that prawn finishes his quota to live as a prawn. So you do jealous. You feel jealous. Why do you feel jealous? Now you can combine this with the imaginary world. You have a certain imaginary world. You want to go there, but you're unable to go there. But you see someone else has achieved to a level which you are dreaming to achieve, but still you can't go there. Then you feel jealous about that person. You feel jealous also because you, in the pathway, you go towards achieving a gratification. Do you agree with me? All the animal traits we discussed that day, you develop all the animal traits in order to get a certain gratification satisfied. Are you all agree with me? Yes. So you became jealous in while you were human for the sake of making a gratification. But as a result of being so jealous, you be born as a prawn. But now you are a prawn, and now you are getting caught to a fisherman until that negative karma has been paid off. So, do you know how the prawns are getting caught? What is a trap? Net. Fishing net, but you put some bait inside. You put a bait inside. I don't know like how the people do it in a big scale, but some people do. Like, the young coconut. You have this white flesh inside the young coconut. The people remove those parts, the white parts of the young coconut, and they burn them. Then they get a good smell. Think of like you burning coconut. If you have experienced that, you know that it gives a good smell. So you put those things inside the bed. You can see the bed. You can see the trap. You can put them inside as a bed. The prawns come inside the trap because of the smell. So with the smell, they come inside, and when they come inside, they can't go out, and that's a trap. So after being a prawn, then also at that time, you also go behind a gratification. See the adverse nature of gratification. While you were human, you also failed to detect the gratification and detect the bait. But now you are a prawn. And being a prawn also, you fail to recognize that. You get caught. Isn't it the same thing happening to you now? So how many prisons are you in right now? You think that you are a free man. But don't you imprisoned in your imaginary world? Don't you feel like that? Don't you feel like that you are governed by your imaginary world? So don't you feel like you have become a slave of your own imaginary world? Because you drive yourself according to your imaginary world. Now, this modern society give you so many inputs for you to like give so many fuel to enlarge, enhance your imaginary world. You have just become a trap. So with social media and everything, like you see all the things in the world. But now you have become a trap for that, for the sake of getting that gratification satisfied. Now you think earlier you thought that the information that you get through the senses, they are going to satisfy your senses and you're going to get gratification. But now you know what? Where the gratification is made now? In the mind. In the mind made gratification. Is there any way that you can expect it in the way you want in the outside? In the same way we want? There's no way. Think of the girlfriend or boyfriend that you imagined, the job you imagined. So, what is the job that you imagine? You have an imaginary job, but do you get the imaginary job in reality? You may be finding a job that you have freedom, or like you have less work or the work you like to do, or sometimes you can where you can get leaves when you want. When you have some trips with friends, you will have to get leaves from the job. But if the job rules are very strict, you don't like that job. But when you apply for a job and when you get the job, do you get all the requirements that you have in mind in the job that you get? No. So some people said when you left the country and came here, you felt like your friends are missing. But your imaginary world just fell apart. So we know now the problem is where? Within the self. To be specific, within the self, within the imaginary world. So now, do you have an idea about the futile nature of creating these imaginary worlds? So if something is going to give you suffering, are you going to do the same thing again and again? No. So here, now you can see this tragic nature of this prawn. That we all have been there. If we all have been there, continuously trapping to the fishermen. Not one life, maybe many lives, but the only thing that is we don't know and we don't remember. But now we know the reality. So now at this moment, we can decide whether we are going to do the same or not. So what will we decide now? We decide with understanding. What is the understanding that we have right now? The yes, the true nature of existence. What is the true nature? The nature of anicca, dukkha, and anatta. If the nature is anicca, if your wish is not going to answer, and if it is going to give you suffering, and is it you worthwhile or worthless to continue the same process? So now you have to take the decision. Okay. So here we have the three things: Ashwada, Adinava, and Nissarana. Let's take one by one. So Ashwada, that is the gratification. My mental fabricated happiness and pleasure. You create that in the mind. And what is the adhinava or the problem of it? The danger in gratification. What is the danger in gratification? It is subject to the nature of anicca, dukkha, and anatta. It is impossible to satisfy the mind-made gratification from external means. So when you have that nature of anicca, suffering is inevitable, and the process of attaching again and again and making mental worlds is worthless, useless. So that is the adiname or the danger in gratification. And nissarane is the detachment. So when you see the futile nature of this gratification, are you going to get attached to it more and more and more and more? When you see the adverse nature of something, are you going to do the same thing again and again? No, theoretically, no. You now see the adverse nature of it. So when you see the adverse nature of this gratification, this detachment, the process of detachment happens. There's nothing you have to do for that. It automatically happens. So have you ever, when you were small, have you tried taking a magnet and taking some iron particles and put them on a piece of paper? And if when you take that magnet away, or the particles, iron particles just fell down. Do you have to pull those iron particles out when you take out the magnet? No, they will automatically fall down. The process of nissarana is the same. The process of detachment is happening when you understand the adverse nature of this gratification. It happens when you understand. So like a branch of a tree, if when it is young and strong, it's hard for us to break. But when the branch is rotten, it will automatically fall down. You don't need to make effort for that. So this process of detachment should happen like that. But what you have to do, you will have to do is to see the true nature of it, the adverse nature of gratification. That's the only thing you have to do. So when you make the mental world, when you create the mental world, you need to look for that. But at the beginning, do you are you able to see that adverse nature at the time you create mental worlds? No, our intelligence has not developed up to that level. Our wisdom has not developed at to that point. But initially, we will remember this only when we get angry or when we feel sad. That that place only we will start seeing this initially. So now here onwards, so at any time you feel sad or disappointed or frustrated, you can always go back and find what? The suffering is the result. What do you need to do? You need to go back to the root cause. What is that? Gratification. Very good. Gratification. Gratification is a problem. You need to go back and find the root. The root is a gratification. The mental worlds you create. Then only you will be able to see the mental world. Now at this level, I'm not expecting you to see the mental world at the beginning. You will definitely start seeing it when the results have come. What is the results? The suffering, angry, sad, that thing. They're not, because that is the thing which is visible for you. You can't catch the gratification part first. Okay? So when you practice doing that, the Nissarane happens. So what do you feel like? If there's a process like that, now think, ask from yourself, like, what is the point of like stressing yourself so much, creating so many imaginary worlds? If you stop to think for a while, do you think actually, is it worthwhile? No, it is not worthwhile. If we ask it honestly from our mind, we will get the answer. We will get the answer. But if we can have that peace of mind, with less attachment, with less juggling balls, your life will be easier and less stress. And when we have less stress, we'll be more focused to the things that we have. Please don't forget, we are in the opportune moment. Okay, you know how rare it is to be born as a human. So we just got this human life, not just to have fun, live and die. So if we miss this chance, if we miss this opportunity, we don't know who you will, whenever you will get this opportunity again. Okay? So we have to be responsible for our lives. So you are the creator of your own movie, own life. So you can create it in the way you want. If you create it towards like making all the gratifications, you can go to that side. But if you can decide to stop these things, you will create your path towards enlightenment, starting from giving. So this choice is within you. So the requisites for you to become a stream maintainer. So all this time we just talk about the requisites, even though we don't name one by one, we all have been doing these things so far. Associating noble friends, listening to the truth teaching as explained by noble friends. Were you all been doing these things? And rational application of mind. So when I asked you to become a capable listener, we discuss about thinking of what you listen, contemplate on what you listen, and practicing in line with the teaching. That means, so now, just now I told you, like whenever you feel angry or sad, you can apply it for yourself now. But at the time you listen to the discussions, I told you always take examples from your life. That is why I all time to time ask about your thoughts, your examples. Then only you will understand. I will understand this with my examples. You will understand it with your examples because it's your understanding, your experiences, right? Okay. So here we come to another sort of summary. 5 aggregates. Okay. These words may not be familiar to you, but I will just go down, then you will get more things. The 5 aggregates. What is the first one? Rupa. Images created through sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. What are they? Rupa. Images. So far we know only the pictures that we see from our eyes. But what can you hear on the road? What is the picture that you get to your mind? Those are the auditory images, images that you get through sights. And, sound. Like if you smell that mother is cooking something, think that she's making, like she's frying something, frying some chips, you get the smell. Think of like someone is making some orange juice. When you get the smell of an orange, you get the picture of, do you get the picture of an apple? No, you get the picture of an orange. So we call them the smell images you get through the smell. And taste, that someone like now think your eyes are closed and someone gives you a piece of mango. Do you like what comes to your mind? Picture of a mango. And touch. You don't know, and someone comes from the back and hit you. You get the feeling of hitting. And if someone touches you smoothly, you get that feeling. And think that like your eyes are closed and someone takes you like this and make you sit on a rock. Do you feel like you're sitting on a bed? No. You get that feeling when that sensation coming through the skin. So do you get the like when someone takes you like around and make you sit on a rock? Do you feel like get the image of a bed or do you get the image of a rock? Image of a rock. So these five aggregates they are responsible for recognition. So I'm just telling you the process of recognition. Okay. The feeling, the Vedana. So there are three types of feelings. What are they? Pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral. Okay. Sanya is the details, the notice the features. When you see a Red Cross, what comes to your mind? The Red Cross Society, maybe hospital. In your hospitals, what is the mark that you have? Is it a Red Cross or a Green Cross? No. Blue Cross. How do you recognize a hospital in this country? In Sri Lanka, we recognize it with the Red Cross. And some people with the Green Cross. Anyway, is it that the cross? Okay, color is different, but so we call these things the sanya, the features. Okay. Sankara is a thought formation, consciously creating thoughts regarding the target object. I will take one example so that you can get this clearly. Vijnana is identifying the target comprehensively. Okay. So let me take one example. Think of something that you have not seen. Like you said, like you have not seen a paddy field. Really? Real situation, you have not seen a paddy field. Okay? You told me that day. With pictures you have seen, but really, have you seen? Sorry? In Sri Lanka, have you seen? Okay. Right. So tell me something that you have not seen, like mm, sorry? Mountain? Ah, Mount Everest. Okay, you have not seen Mount Everest. Okay. When you say the Mount Everest, as you hear the word, you get to some sort of idea that it is a mountain. You have some idea that mountain is something with a shape like this. So how comes that? With your previous experiences of seeing mountains. It belongs to number 5. Like you have all the memories stored there regarding similar categories, the semantic groups. So fruits, that one category, the animals one category. So like that when as soon as you say Mountain Everest, you get the shape of that to your mind. And with some pictures that you have seen, like you have, you can have some snow or some white stuff there. So these are the things that you have, so you have as information right now. But when you go to, if you get a chance to go to Everest. You will know it for yourself. So when you go to the Everest, you will get all these experiences by yourself. You will know, you will see it from your eyes, naked eyes, then you will just walk or climb, then you can like have the whole sort of data related to Mount Everest. Now, for example, now here, this is the first time that we came to New Zealand. So before that, we didn't have an idea how New Zealand would be or look like, or we didn't have like even we have not searched in the internet or maps. We knew that this is a country like this, and we had some sort of idea. But before coming that, we just searched some things about New Zealand so that we got some sort of idea. But only when we come here, when we landed here, we started getting those information for ourselves. Before that, we didn't have that understanding like that. So these 5 aggregates are related about recognizing something. Even though we don't go into this detail, when we recognize something, all these 5 process, the 5 parts are happening. So I will go to the next chart so that you can get some more things. Right. So we have this, the senses. You know, when we say the forms, we talk about the visual forms, auditory forms, olfactory, gustatory, tactile. It's related to eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. So what about the neutral feelings? The feelings, the neutral, comfort, and discomfort. So the first 4, they are neutral feelings. Do you understand why it has neutral feeling? So eyes, the feeling when you see a picture, the feeling that you get is neutral. Are you agree with me? How can you agree with me? How can you agree with me?
Because if they weren't neutral,
Huh?
then everyone would like one, like one thing, but not everyone likes that. Everyone would like the same thing.
Every picture.
Yeah.
Okay, look at this vase. So this is a picture. So how can you say that the feeling that you get from seeing this is neutral? Can you explain? How can you explain that to me? Yes.
It's like the actual picture is neutral, but we add our own what we think.
Great. Yes, exactly. So everyone in this room, if you don't have any problem with seeing colors, we all see this vase as it is. So is there any inbuilt gratification in that? No. The picture, the sensation that we get from seeing is neutral. But how about hearing? You listen to a high-pitched song. There's a song playing here, and everybody hears. And what's the feeling you get? that related to gratification. So everyone hears a neutral sound. So just after listening to it, you get attached to it or you just reject that. How about the taste? So now you had some snacks. What did you have? You had crackers, cheese. Okay. So, did everyone eat cheese? Yeah. So when everybody had the same cheese, so everybody tasted it the same. The feeling that you get when tasting is same to everyone. Are you agree with me? Yeah. Okay. So then if the okay and the smell, if this incense stick is lighted, the smell that it would give is the same to everyone. If there's no problem with our sensations, and when if you're having this what do you call it, the fever or like allergies or something like that, you will not allergy like when you're getting a cold, I forgot the word. If you're having a cold and stuff in your nose, you might not get the smell. But it is not the situation like that. If you are generally in normal situations, everyone will get the same smell. Okay. So what did you drink today? Coca-Cola. Everybody did drink that? Okay. So whatever the drink that you get, like if there's a smell, everyone will get the same smell. So do you all okay with that feeling that this feeling with this vision, hearing, tasting, and smelling, the feeling are neutral? Yes. And how about the body? You can get comfort, feeling of comfort and discomfort. How comes that? So this body is tangible. You have a tangible body, not like a body of devas. Yeah, their body is tangible, then you will feel that. There's no way that you cannot feel the comfort and discomfort. So you were sitting like this now for 5-6 minutes. So after that, you'll just change the posture. Why? It is uncomfortable when you are sitting longer for one posture. So now think that you'll sleep on the most luxurious bed on earth. So if you're sleeping on the most luxurious bed on earth, will you be able to sleep towards one direction the whole night? No. No. You will have to, you will just turn. And if you're sitting on the most luxurious, most comfortable bed, this sofa on earth, can you sit in one position for 1 hour? No, it's not like that. So for body, you get the feeling both comfort and discomfort. Those feelings are there for the body, but not for nothing else. And the mind. What is the feeling that you get for the mind? For the mind, you get thought. Okay, so everybody just close your eyes for 2 seconds. Okay, so did you get any thoughts? Did now when you're sitting there, do you remember things? Do you remember things? So when I asked you, what did you eat? Where did you have for your snacks? Did you remember? Yeah. So in the process of remembering things, you got thoughts. So what is the type of these thoughts? Yes, mental thoughts. I'm asking the feeling of those thoughts, like neutral thoughts. You just recall the data. You did only recall the data. So when you this Sachin told me like you missed the catch that day. You missed the catch. So when you told me like you missed the catch, you had to recall that incident. It came to you as a data. Do you all agree with me? Everything comes to you as a data, but process of attaching or like not attaching is up to you. Initially, it comes as neutral. So all okay with that? Yes, great. So then, the perceptions, details. So colors and shapes. These are the features of the things that we see from our eyes. So now look around the things in this room. Have a look around, turn your head around and see the things in this room, including your friends. Turn your head all around and see what's inside. So tell me, did you see anything else? Finish? See? So did you see anything else other than colors and shapes? Did you see anything else other than colors and shapes? No. Ah, great. You have seen, in the process of seeing, you will only see colors and shapes, nothing else. So different, you have seen your friends wearing different color dresses, different color ornaments are there, picture balls, different colors. And the shapes, the flowers, they have a different shape. Your friends have a different shape. These windows, curtains, and everything, they have different shapes. So is there anything for you to attach to that? At the pure stage of recognition, they are neutral. Do you all feel that? Okay. Purely when you see it. Don't merely say yes or no. Just think very well. Are you, because this is some crucial point. Are you all okay with that? You only see colors and shapes and they are neutral. So then why do we attach? When you go to a shopping mall, why do we attach? Like look here and there. Can I have this? Can I have that? Why do we attach?
Take what you want.
Hmm?
So, no.
Want?
Yeah.
You get attached because you want. So actually, we what we need for the existence is the needs. The wants are the added things.
Yeah.
We look here and there for us to get the wants, not necessarily the needs. Okay, yes.
If you don't have a neutral feeling towards like the things that we are drawn to, like because we don't have a neutral feeling,
For what?
like the things that we need that we want,
Uh,
that one.
okay, the nature of the things that we see, hear, taste, and smell, they have the inherent feeling is neutral. But we can use them and we will have to use them. But there's no problem in using. If not, like if we don't eat, we won't be able to survive. It is not like that. We just talking about the nature of these feelings. We just seen the true nature of this true nature of feelings related to vision, hearing, smelling, and tasting. Initially, they are neutral. We are the people who getting attached with great aversion and delusion. By making mental worlds. If you tasting a piece of cheese today, you have in mind, cheese should be like this. But if it is not the matches with the imaginary world, oh my God, from where have they bought this? It's not in the level expected level. You think like that. Okay. So auditory, the sound, you know the characteristics of a sound, pitch, loudness, or the amplitude, or whatever things I don't know. So you have you know the characteristics of a sound. Yeah. So you listening to a music means you're just listening to the characteristics of a sound. Are you agree with me? So now yesterday we played that video. You heard some sound there. So every one of us heard the same sound. So you heard something and you heard something. Is that so? No, same thing we heard. Because we played only one. We played only one video yesterday. So everybody heard the same thing. Same frequency, same loudness, same whatever the wavelength. So everything is same. But we are the people who is going to give the interpretation. Oh, this is good, this is bad. It's related to our mental world. Okay. The next one. All the smelling. You get the different smells. The smell of a smell of an orange or smell of a dog. We talked about the smell of the dog yesterday. The smell of a natural flower. Okay. The smell of the books. So the smells are there, different types of smells. So are there anything called good smells and bad smells? Who put that differentiation? Ourselves according to what? Yes, out of delusion, and it's because of the imaginary world that we have. Like the smells that we want to, things that we want to smell, imaginary worlds about the things we want to smell. We talk about that slide. Yeah. So we are the people who make that differentiation. So there's nothing called good smells and bad smells. They are just smells. Okay. So when you go out in the morning to go to school with, if you use perfume or water, you smell good. But in the evening when you come, you smell bad because all the sweat and everything is there, you smell bad. That is why you go and have a wash. Then again you smells good, but you know what happens. So smelling is just a smell. So good or bad is how we interpret according to our mental worlds. Okay. The taste. There are six type of taste: sweet, sour, bitter. So I don't remember everything, but there are only six. Spicy. So now the you had some crackers today. The taste of a cracker, how it feels to your tongue, how the sensory buds in your tongue takes to your brain, the process is same with everyone. If you all have eaten the same cracker, the taste, the information you get the same with everyone. But did anyone like that cracker, or anyone didn't like that cracker? Answer those who like that cracker. Anyone didn't like it?
Yes.
Okay, so it depends. See, you got the same taste, but liking and disliking, it depends. Here we have the touch. For the comfortability, we get smooth, soft sensation, and discomfort, hard and rough. And for the mind, you get the thoughts. They are neutral. That's all we can think of that. So the sankara, the formation of thoughts. So we create thoughts accordingly. And vijnana, the consciousness, they bring memories about the previous experiences gained from the six senses. Now, for you to understand, recognize that this is a piece of cheese. How could you recognize that this is a piece of cheese? Yes?
Smell, view.
View, yeah. Yes. Just by seeing and the smell and everything. And you had some previous data that this is cheese. Do you remember the first day that you had cheese?
Yeah.
So tell me something you have tried naively. Have you eaten jackfruit? Have you eaten jackfruit? Yeah. Do you remember the first time that you ate jackfruit? Do you remember?
Yes.
Okay. So now when you ate the jackfruit, you know how it tastes. Okay. So before that, you have no idea how it would taste like. But now you know the taste of it. So now when you have the jackfruit again, you know how it tastes like. So yeah, you have some stored memory inside you. We call that the consciousness. So for you to recognize something, we need all these things.
I tried trying to drink. Yeah.
Which drink?
Try.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know that type of energy drink. Okay. So tried it naively. So how is it?
Gave me a lot of energy.
You gave a lot of energy. Okay. So the taste you got from it, it's neutral feeling.
Oh, it's pretty sweet. Yeah.
Yes, the part that, okay, now listen to me. Like you have the features, like you have the features and the feeling. Listen to this carefully. Feeling and the features. You shouldn't mismatch these two. The tree is sweet, sour, hot, and all these things. They go to the features, the details. But the feeling that you get from any drink or anything that you eat is neutral. So the part of attaching is happens within the mind. Okay. So when you had tasted that energy drink for the first time, now you have some idea. So now whenever you see that bottle, you remember, you recall that sensation. So that is stored in the memory. We call it the Dhamma world. All the information that we got from our senses are stored in the Dhamma world. And if for some reason that Dhamma world has deleted, you won't be able to live. Just like you can't recognize or do anything. Right? Okay, but luckily it is not happening like that. If not, you won't be able to survive. Okay, so I told all these things. With all these five aggregates only, we recognize something. But when you see something very nice, do you remember all these things?
No.
Think of a moment you say, wow. What does that it mean?
Surprise. Oh.
Yes. So as soon as you say wow by seeing something, this whole process quickly gone, and the process of attachment also has happened. Without an attachment, there's no way that you can say wow. So it is one good way that shows that you attached. Wow, so wonderful. How nice it is. It shows that you have attached to that. You just quickly pass this process of recognition and you don't even notice. Actually, we don't notice it before listening to this Dhamma. Actually, we have no idea that. Tell me, before listening to this, did you all thought of the process of recognition is there? Then after that, the process of attachment is happening. Have you ever thought of that? No, no way. But only now you start getting to know at least these things are happening. So the five aggregates, the chart that we talked earlier, it is only recognizing the target. Can you all read that for me? Only recognizes the target. Panchaskanda. Five aggregates is Panchaskanda. It is only responsible for recognition. No association of greed, aversion, or delusion. Is the process of recognition associated with greed, aversion, and delusion? No, it is not associated. So at the process of recognition, you have a pure mind. It is not contaminated. What happens? Like associative bad friends. Association of greed, aversion, and delusion. What happens then? Five clinging aggregates. We just cling with the defilements. Pancha upadana skandha. Upadana means like you're clinging with great aversion and delusion. So what happens to your pure mind? Contaminated mind.
Does it come the mind?
We can say it's heap. What your guess is sort of right. It's a heap. So all these things, like we can't take it just one by one. We can recognize only when it be present like a heap. That is why we call it as a skanda, panchaskanda, those five aggregates. Heaps, five heaps. Okay. So Are you all clear with this? Five aggregates. Process of recognition, the mind is pure. So what happens with the association of bad friends? Bad influence. Good people become bad people. Good people get influence from bad people. And what is the end result? Like virus. Good people become bad people as a result of associating bad friends. So here the same. Pure mind associate with greed, aversion, and delusion. Actually, they are bad friends. Greed is not a good thing. Bad delusion and aversion. Then your mind becomes contaminated. It is the pure mind is no more. We talk about this greed is a lustful attachment. You have it when you create the mental worlds, you lustfully attach. Aversion is a hatred. Why aversion comes? Yes, has hateful attachment. How hateful attachment comes? Very good. Because of lustful attachment. Very wise, very good. It's because of lustful attachment. If the lustful attachment is not there, there's no way that you can get aversion. That is why we all have been discussing so far the problem with the imaginary world. Imaginary world you do with lustful attachment. So then what's the problem in the whole process? What is, according to this tree, what is the problem in this whole process? Yes, gratification because of we do gratification out of lustful attachment. So gratification, lustful attachment, making imaginary worlds, all these things is a problem. So who is creating the problem? Yeah. So can we put the blame to someone? No. We do, but we can't do anymore. So the theory of cause and effect. Who created the causes? We created. And who get the results? We get the results. Can we put the blame to someone? No. So now think, people. So like, what do you all do all this time? You try to pass a ball to someone and make a lot of excuses for ourselves. But what's the reality? So now in reality, can we ever pass the ball to anyone, or can we point at anyone? You did it because of you, because of you, because of my parents, because of my friends. How can we say that? There's no way that we can say. Delusion is ignorance about the fact that I told yesterday that we will come to this later. So now you know this. Delusion, the ignorance about the fact that gratification is mind-made. Now you know that gratification is mind-made. Yesterday you didn't know of this. Do you remember? I put this slide yesterday and I told that I will discuss this tomorrow. So we discussed this already. The ignorance about the fact that gratification is mind-made. It is not something really existing and can never be fulfilled by external means. So now you have some sort of idea about this delusion. So because you have the delusive thoughts in your mind, then only you look for what? You think that gratification can be satisfied, achieved, attained. That is why you go ahead and create the imaginary worlds. Out of delusion, you do. So now can you see like everything is connected together? So like a pearls in a chain. Yeah. So see how like what level of wisdom must a Lord Buddha should have had to reveal this reality by himself. We don't know, we can't imagine. So one day Lord Buddha told, like he was in a forest with, I think, great elder Ananda or I don't know, with some of his monks. He has taken some leaves that has fallen on the ground. Then he asked, can you compare the amount of leaves in my hand and the leaves in the whole trees in this forest? What is bigger? Trees in the leaves in the trees of the forest. But the leaves in your hand, very little. Lord Buddha said, so my understanding is like the leaves in the whole forest. But what I preach to people are like the handful. So we are struggling to understand the handful. So see how great a Lord Buddha is. Have you ever been to the statue to see the Aukana statue? Aukana statue in Sri Lanka. Have you been there? Answer those who have been there. It's in Polonnaruwa.
Oh, yeah.
The big, huge statue, standing statue. You went there.
Yeah.
So what the feeling when you go in front of the statue and when you look up? What the feeling you get?
Well, everyone was my feet burning because of that fun.
Your feet was burning. Okay, so what's the feeling that you get? Don't you get a great respect for Lord Buddha?
Yeah.
Like it's so big, huge. See the qualities of the Lord Buddha, his wisdom, understanding is so big. Like you get a lot of respect towards him, like when you see such thing like that.
Apparently there was like a thing that happened like with the British conflict Sri Lanka, like some white person like shot the statue or something.
Mhm.
Like an elephant like killed it.
Oh yeah, there is a
Like that
song.
happened.
Yeah, because because like when you go there, you get such a lot of energy. So that person, if someone has shot that, he like just breaks the like equilibrium of this whole energy. So he will get they say that he got instant results. It's not good.
Isn't there like a chanting back there was there's like waves that you could like see go off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it was.
There are a lot of like the supers in Somavati and the Ruanmali Mahasaya. There are a lot of supers like that, and people say like a lot of such
Energy from
strange, yes, such things happening because they have a lot of energies like the relics of the Lord Buddha and the lot of Arahant they are stored inside, so they give a lot of energy. So you can feel that energy when you go to those places. So Sri Lanka is like feel full of that energy. So I think one day you should go there and visit those places by your naked eyes. And when you go there, you will feel that energy. And you need that energy to walk in that path because it gives you an extra blessing for you, extra support for you. So one day, just go and worship those places. You will feel great. And when you will remember that we discuss all these things too. Okay. So I just put everything to a table summary. 5 aggregates, pure mind. We call it the Prabhashvara. If the single words are difficult, just forget that word. Just do that pure mind. 5 aggregates. Process of recognition is happening with these 5 aggregates. But sentient beings won't stop there. Who are the sentient beings? Okay. So like before you listened to these teachings, you had no idea. But you have at least, you know that such things are there. Sentient beings are the people that who have no idea at all about these things. So what happens? Sentient beings won't stop here. Desire attachment to the recognized thing. Blind the pure mind and promote gratification. We call it the Chandaraga. We blind the pure state of recognition. We blind the pure mind and get attached. Then here we form the clinging aggregates. contaminated, affected with virus that will bring you to the four hells. Yeah. Okay, so this is the whole process. So now can you tell me, it's like you have the internal six senses. Look at me. So you have the internal six senses. What are they? Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. And you have the outside six sensory information, the stimulus. Pictures, sounds, taste, smell, touch, and the thoughts. Internal six and external six. So now tell me, is there any problem with the internal six? With regards to gratification and suffering and anicca? Anything related to this internal six? No. External six? What's the problem? There's no problem. We know that five external things give the neutral feeling. Only the body gives the comfort and discomfort. But that also not associated with gratification. In that sense, the external six is also pure. And you're recalling things and you have stored memory regarding all this information. Is there any problem with those memories? Is there any problem with those memories? Because the memories come to you as neutral data. So in that case, do you have any problem with the stored data? No. So then what is the problem that we have? So literally, there shouldn't be any problem to us. But with all these things, have we ever, did we see any room for mental suffering? Internal six, external six, and the stored data? Any room for mental suffering at the pure stage? Are you sure? Any room for mental suffering? Internal six, any problem that you like internal organs? They are like that. External things, they are as they are. And the stored data, they are like that. So anything related to the process of identification or the pure mind, any suffering is related with all these things? Mental suffering? No. No mental suffering at all. Internal six, external six, and the stored data. What do you think? Any suffering related, mental suffering? Are you sure? Think wisely. Any way that you get mental suffering at the pure stage? No. That means they don't give any suffering to us, mental suffering. Only the physically, if you hit someone, you get the physical pain, but it's not a mental suffering. Do you understand? Physical pain and mental suffering are two things? Yes. So then, who make that problem then? Yes. We make the problem. Ourselves make the problem. Then, so now, no, so then can you say this world is with like full of suffering? No, we are the people who make it a world of suffering. Our thoughts and the imaginary worlds. So then now when you listen to all these things, now do you have an idea that you can solve this problem? Can you solve this problem? Do you know what the problem is now? Yes? So if you know the problem, can you solve the problem also? Yes. As your understanding grows up, you will be able to solve problems then and there. So that is why an Arahant has no problems. So actually, what do you mean by living? What do you mean by living actually? Isn't it a process of problem solving? It's like you're creating problems and solve. Sorry. It's like you're creating problems and solve problems. Don't you think that it's a living that you used to live so far? Every day you create a problem and try to solve a problem. Trying to solve a problem, you create another problem. But now you know how the problem is created. And now you know how to solve the problem. You know the theory. So is the only theory is going to help you? You have the theory somewhere and you somewhere. Application, very good. So application should be there. So that is why I asked you from then and there the examples from you. Because this is you who are going to take this to your lives. Okay? Right. Okay. This is some looks like too much information, but I just want to tell, but just don't take too much to the mind. I will just tell you that we are born to this journey through samsara with 10 fetters. The 10 fetters, you know what a fetter is, like with bondages, chains. You're born with 10 fetters. Just forget about the single words. I know it can be complex to you. Just only to see the meaning of the first three. With that gratification is worth and fruitful. Earlier, we used to think like that. But now we know the reality of gratification. The second one, the first one we call the Sakkaya Ditthi, the view that gratification is worth and fruitful. Second one, Vichikicha. That means like doubt that about the process of eradicating birth. The word Buddha, etymology of the word Buddha, it has two, like Bhu, Uddha. Bhu means the process of rebirth, creating again and again. Uddha means eradicating. So you worship Buddha means you accept the process of the teachings related to the process of eradicating birth. That is the word Buddha means. So are you clear about the process of eradicating birth? If not, I will ask, are you sure about the process of process of not creating defilements? Are you clear about the adverse nature of gratification? Yes, you have some idea. So you have some idea about what the Buddha is, about the process of eradicating birth. You have some sort of idea now. Number two, the tool to eradicate birth. We call it the Dhamma. You need some tool, the 5 aggregates, 5 clinging aggregates. So all these things, the 4 noble truths, these are the things, the tools that we use to eradicate birth. That is the Dhamma. That is the best tool that we have. And Sangha. So Sangha, we say it is the defilements. It's one word, like we say Sangha for the bhikkhus. It is not like that. We call that with Sangha. It is the defilements in mind. So one who has some idea of this philosophy, he will be getting no doubts about the process of dedicating birth and the tools for that and the way that you can detach from the attachments. So that is called the Vichikicha. Once who understand these teachings, he will slowly getting free from these bondages. And number 3, Silabbata Paramasa. We call that, it's a new word, but just forget about that, but get the meaning. Follow any other ritual, observances or rituals other than the 4 noble truths to attain Nibbana. So other than this tool, if someone is using any other means, for example, some people refrain from eating fish, meat, or like to be vegetarian so that we'll attain Nibbana. Some people think in the lifetime of Lord Buddha, some people behaved like dogs. Like some people have like used sort different, like we don't know and we can't even think of those observations that they had. So other than Four Noble Truths, they have followed, like some people have given a lot of pain to the body, thinking that it will give them enlightenment. But now we know all these things not going to work, but only the understanding will going to give the liberation. So knowing that only path towards enlightenment is the understanding of the truth teaching. We call that the Silabbata Paramasa. So a person who has attained the stage of Sotapanna will completely break these first three fetters. He will completely break the first three fetters. As he move on in the path, gradually he will break these other 7 fetters. I will not talk about that because it gives you too much detail. So do you have some sort of idea about the first 3 fetters? Maybe like now this point you get some sort of idea, some sort of insight. Maybe not, this is not the time that you is going to break these fetters, but that's fine. But at least now you got some sort of idea. So now do you think like if this fetter is broken, is it going to come again? If one fetter is broken, is it going to come again? No, if it is broken, it is broken. It would never come. That is why people, if someone has attained the stage of Sotapanna, he dies and he will born again as a Sotapanna. We call that Jata Sotapanna. That is how it comes. If the fetter is broken, it is broken. It's not going to come again. So the process of breaking these fetters happens during the time that we discuss. That is why we need to be alert. It is not something that you go home and study. Okay, that is why we should be awake, alert, and attentive, and that is why you want to be a capable listener. See how the things matches. Okay, right. Okay, so here we go. The Four Noble Truths. We are going to discuss that. I think we can have a break, and after that, we can talk about the Four Noble Truths. The heart of what we all have discussed so far. Summary. So you are going to get the best in the last session. Okay. So before we go, do you have any questions? Yes.
What happens after the breaking free from whole term?
Yes. Enlightenment.
Oh.
Yeah. So you make imaginary words, you create imaginary words as long as you have the fetters.
So, off the top, you're breaking through.
Yes. So today you get some sort of idea like how these things happen. So as you listen to this Dhamma more and more in the live context, you cannot gain this understanding by listening to a YouTube video or YouTube Dhamma discussion. This should happen like this. Now you all can ask me questions and I will answer you. But how can you ask a question when you are watching a YouTube video? And now you all came through a process. So how can you come with the same process with a YouTube video? You can't do that. Now, when you listen to this, you get some sort of idea and this understanding is there for you. So, and at another time, you listen to such a discussion like this, which contains the true teachings of the Lord Buddha, true nature of this existence, you will get from here. And what you understand right now, I'm not saying, and I don't know, and I can't say whether you have broken the fetters or not. And that is only a Lord Buddha can tell. But what you all can do is to be mindful about the things that we discussed. At a time that you feel angry, you feel sad, that's what we talk. Those are the things that are like visible for us. We can recognize when we are angry or sad easily. The lustful attachment is hard for us to recognize. What we can recognize first is the anger, that is we present it as uh, hatred, anger, or like things like that. So why do we cry? Why do we cry? Aversion. Who said aversion? Okay, great. We cry because of aversion. We cry because like something our wish is not answered. You're so angry. Crying is a way that we express anger. We feel pity for the person who cries. We try to like, but it's not like that. We cry out of aversion, anger. Any more questions? Okay, so let's have a break and we'll continue after that. Okay, Tervan Sarna, everyone.